Hi, and welcome to Carving to Powder Transitioning Series, Episode 3. Today, I'll be talking about 4 fundamental technical skills, the 4 pillars of powder skiing. Once again, there are many ways to ski, and many ways to teach and to learn to ski. What works for one is not necessarily working for another. You definitely heard from many great skiers that skiing powder is not that different from carving on the groomers. And indeed, if you're really good, it is true. Anyways, for a mere mortal like me, the phrase that there is no difference played a cruel joke for many years, before I finally recognized that there indeed is a huge difference. Here are 4 main technical pillars of powder skiing, the way I, a mere mortal, aged above 60, that started skiing in my very late teens, see it. Number 1. Don't even think about carving. It is side sliding and side sliding only. At any given moment in the turn, the ski drifts or slips a little bit to the side. It may be along the whole length, or front tips can be sliding significantly less than tails, but it is always side sliding. Take a look on those tracks. No rather sharp edges. Side sliding, and side sliding. Or put it differently, side slipping, and side slipping. Number 2. Even load on both skis, 50-50. At any moment in the turn, in the beginning, in the mid-turn, and during exit. The deeper the powder, the more important it is. Here what happens if you load one ski? It will go under, into powder, below the surface. Another unloaded ski will stay on the surface, and because it is unloaded, it will be loose as a noodle. The ski will cross and you will fall. Number 3. No ski separation. Both skis are tied together, tied as a one monoski. Look on this track again. Can you tell if this is a snowboarder or a skier? Well, actually the only way to tell is the tracks from the ski poles. If you separate your ski in powder, first of all, your snow platform gets smaller. Ski tied together create a better platform than separated ski. Secondly, every side force will easily distort your flow. You risk crossing the tips with familiar and devastating results. Finally, number 4. Initiating the turn via unweighting. Unweighting up or unweighting down. Not edging the ski or changing the edge like in carving, but subtle movement of your center of gravity up or down. All of this is very different from your carving muscle memory. And all of this is an old school. Last century, in the 60s, 70s and 80s, people used this technique everywhere. Certainly, on groomed hardpack icy runs, it is not the fastest. Also, it is easier to learn the carving skill on manicured groomed runs than the powder skills. But in my humble opinion, those 4 skills are absolutely necessary for powder. In other words, you can't ski powder confidently if you don't have all 4 skills developed. And I am equally convinced that those 4 skills are absolutely sufficient to ski powder. In other words, if you have all of those 4 skills, you will be able to ski and enjoy power. Necessary and sufficient. Any kind of powder. Virgin, broken, crud, remnants of powder, powder on the moguls. Another great thing about those 4 skills is that you can practice those on no powder days on groomed and ungroomed runs. You can alternate between carving and non-carving runs. or you can ski the steeper terrain using those 4 skills, and flat groomed section using the carving technique. Strangely enough, one technique will improve another. I guess this is what is called cross-training. Then, after building some muscle memory on no powder day, you will be ready for the moment with 20 or 30 centimeters of overnight fresh stuff. All other skills like angulation, counter-rotation, pole plants, etc., you name it, are not that important at all in the powder. They won't hurt, but they won't decide the game either. One can add those bells and whistles to the mix later. In my following episodes, I will be talking specifically about each of those 4 skills. Also, I will be talking about how to learn and master those skills on the groomed runs. Because, let's face it, Mother Nature doesn't cooperate always, and more often than not, there is no powder around. And yet, you still can prepare yourself during those non-powder days by working on those 4 techniques. One other general piece of advice: make videos of yourself. And not with iPhone, but with real camera with some zoom. Yes, making video takes some time and effort, and is not that easy as it looks. But for learning, it is extremely important, because what you think you are doing is very different from what you are really doing. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode number 4, which will be a detailed look into the first technical pillar for powder skiing, side sliding. And if you like the video, please click the subscribe button. Your subscribing click will go a long way. Thank you.